Good morning, everybody, and a happy Wednesday morning to you. All right, this is what I call a mishmash video. We have multiple different stories. They're small, but there's a lot. So I've thrown them all in here, and we are ending with a recipe. It's been a while since I put one up. I think you guys will love it. So let's jump in and cover what we have, shall we? Let's go. All right, we're going to start off with this article that basically is pointing out that Harry and Meghan's professional split has actually slowed down their brand's momentum and identity. The problem is, if you keep them together, people don't like her. So from a PR perspective, the shift might allow them to each create distinct brands and resonate with their individual audiences. But together, yeah, it's not going well. Whew. All right, next up. The next article is saying that Harry is unlikely to ever make another appearance at the National Service of Remembrance at the Cenotaph. But we know this already. He still wants to be a part of it. He still wants to be seen, which is why he tried to have the personal wreath. He was told no. We know all about the pictures. Then this year, he tried to hone in on it a little bit by giving candy to Scotty's little soldiers. Remember, I told you about that yesterday. But then it just gets worse. Harry decided that even though he is now a private citizen, he represents nobody, decided to put out a heartfelt, what they're calling a heartfelt tribute to his fellow veterans. Now they're saying that it's a rare statement. It's not a rare statement. He puts out statements constantly. I mean, are you kidding? But in this statement, he, quote, reaffirms his lifelong admiration and appreciation for their service and sacrifice. And it just goes on and on. Now, Harry shared his hope in this letter that communities will continue to support veterans and said that, quote, your contributions do not stop because you no longer wear a uniform. Well, the problem is people don't want to give money to Invictus anymore, which is why there's constantly a shortfall, especially after it came out through the Freedom of Information Act that Harry and Meghan misused funds that were given to people at Invictus Germany for their own travel, clothing, security, etc., etc. So why should people continue to give money when they know it's not being used appropriately for the people who need it? Moving on. Next up, this is very interesting. Andrew Tucker, who Harry affectionately calls Tux, has stepped down from his senior position at Simpsonville. Well, this is very interesting. It's like everybody wants to leave. Now, this is less than a year after the chief executive for Simpsonville, Johnny Hornsby, quit. Apparently, Mr. Tucker was working for Harry and William almost 20 years ago as their polo manager, and he's well known in royal circles. His godfather is Mark Phillips, who's Princess Anne's ex-husband, and he was, by the way, best man at Peter Phillips' wedding in 2008. All right, next up, this came from Meghan Markle's parody on Twitter. They're saying goodbye magazine for Meghan Markle because after her Netflix fizzled and the Oprah confessions fell flat, it's official. Meghan has gone from hello to goodbye. The Duchess of Freakish Eye for Detail has been crowned the queen of brand flops, moving from failed podcasts to half-baked ventures with fake royal consistency. However, the world is embracing Princess Catherine for her quiet dignity and genuine commitment. Meghan's strategy has turned from luxury dreams to mall schemes, and her latest venture, of course, was trying to push America River's scam orchard in a mall near you. Moving on. Next up, the conservative think tank that we all know about, the Heritage Foundation, has been trying to force the publication of Harry's visa documents, and it looks like they're really pushing it once Trump takes office. So they're calling this time that Harry and Meghan are currently in as the, quote, squeaky bum time, because Trump is the kind of guy that carries a grudge. And after all, Meghan has called him a bunch of names, divisive, misogynistic. And Harry and Meghan, even though they stepped back from their royal duties, that, per protocol, they weren't supposed to comment directly on political matters. We all know how well that went. The only positive for Harry, it's being reported, is that Trump is not well disposed towards the Heritage Foundation, as they also investigated his own family background. Remember, they released the immigration of Melania's mother. And finally, I'm going to talk about this Narinder woman again. Apparently, she went on Jeremy Vine on Channel 5 in the UK and again repeated that she regretted the comments before revealing she had contacted police over the abuse that she has received. So she's calling the police over, threats that she's getting. Now, she denies that she was referencing Catherine's treatment for cancer. She goes, no matter how much I try and convince people that wasn't my intention, they're not going to believe it. My intention was to ask whether she was smoking. It had nothing to do with her cancer. And I don't understand how asking a simple question about smoking has made me into the devil of Britain and why people have equated it to cancer, because I didn't. And then she was asked why she blamed it on racism. And she said, I blamed it on racism, misogyny, and sexual humiliation. Now, she did make one interesting point. She says, a lot of people spent a year demonizing Kate. Where's Kate? Edited pictures, blah, blah, blah. She says, but yet people came at me so ferociously, I had to be in touch with the Metropolitan Police because of the threats. She says, so if I'm getting racist and sexual abuse, and people are saying I'm making myself into the victim, but since I'm getting the threats, then guess what? I am the victim. She said, it was a stupid thing to ask about the aging. I've admitted it. I've put my hands up. I've apologized if it caused offense. It wasn't my intention. And, at some point, people just have to stop. She goes, my brother went through chemo and he was working up until weeks before his death. She said, but I wouldn't have made the remarks with regards to her cancer diagnosis. Yeah, this woman must really just be stupid. All right. Next up, you guys, here is the recipe I promised you. Hi, guys. Okay, we're going to do a recipe. Chicken cauliflower. Well, buffalo chicken cauliflower. You heard that, didn't you? Yes, buffalo chicken cauliflower. Oh, my God, you can't have it. Simple recipe. Each recipe feeds 2 people, and it's 319 calories a serving. So I eat 1/2 for dinner one night, and I save the other half because my husband doesn't like buffalo. So, okay, let's go. Then, now the first thing I do is I steam a head of cauliflower. The recipe only calls for 3 cups, but I like to put it all in there. It's almost like no calories anyway, and it bulks it up. Then I cook chicken. I broil it till it's cooked, and I weigh out 8 ounces of boneless, skinless chicken breast. Then take your 8 ounces of cooked chicken and shred it in the food processor. This is what I did, and as you can see, it's in the bowl. Now you're going to add the following ingredients. Remember, I'm not endorsing any products here, okay? But this is reduced fat, sharp cheddar cheese, and you want to measure out 1/2 cup, but you only want to put 1/4 or half of the 1/2 cup in the bowl. I absolutely am advocating this. Moore's wing sauce, I absolutely love it. And you put in 1/4 cup of that, 1/4 of a cup of that. You're also going to add 1/4 a cup of light cream cheese, which is the same thing as 4 tablespoons, and 1/3 cup of low-fat plain Greek yogurt. I use no fat. Then you add the cauliflower on top. I break it up into little pieces and you mix it and put it in the bowl. Of course, I've put cooking spray on the outside of the bowl. Then you put it in the oven at 350 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. Then 5 minutes before you take it out of the oven, you put the other 1/4 cup of fat-free cheese on top and you let it melt. And there you have it. You guys will absolutely love, love, love this dish. Let me know when you try it if you like it. Let me know what you think. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Put your comments down, make them good. Hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications. Then go down into the description box where you'll find the link to video number 2. You're not going to want to miss it. Follow me over. Let's go.